Hi there Nerd Squad! Avengers Endgame is coming up soon, which has got us all buzzing with theories, speculations, and more than anything, questions. And here at Top 10 Nerd, we thought it was due time to address some. In this video, I'll be counting down our top 10 Avengers Endgame questions, discussing what we know so far, and giving you some possible answers. There were so many questions to choose from, and honestly, I think I could probably come up with a top 100 list, never mind top 10. So if there is something else you would love to see us discuss in regards to Endgame, please let us know in the comments below. My name is Amanda McKnight, and these are the top 10 Avengers Endgame biggest questions. Number 10. What did Doctor Strange see? What did Doctor Strange see? Doctor Strange obviously felt the only option after looking through all possible futures with the Time Stone was to give up the Time Stone to Thanos in exchange for Tony Stark's life. So whatever he saw, we can assume that Tony Stark is integral to undoing what Thanos has done, or defeating Thanos, or something. After all, we aren't quite sure to what extent the Avengers will be able to restore the MCU. Granted, assuming he saw reality without those heroes that were turned to dust at the end of Infinity War, Strange still must have thought that this new path was worth sacrificing all those lives. I'm more of the mindset that he knew Tony and those that survived would be able to band together to save all the souls that were lost. He knew where we needed to go next. As he tells Tony, we're in the endgame now.
We're in the endgame now.
Number 9. Where will it take place? According to the IMDb page for Endgame, we only have 3 confirmed shooting locations for the film, one of which is in Atlanta, the second is in Tokyo, and the third is Pinewood Studios, also in Atlanta. Film studios unfortunately are not very telling, as production could create just about anything on a soundstage. Of all these locations, Tokyo is the most interesting to me. In the first and second Endgame trailer, we get a glimpse of what looks like Tokyo in scenes involving Black Widow and Hawkeye. Perhaps we will get to see a previous mission, or they will have to go there on Avengers business together. Who knows? The other locations that have visually stood out in terms of trailers and photos involve smoldering ruins. These ruins could potentially belong to Titan, Thanos' home planet where Nebula and Iron Man were last left stranded, or to somewhere new. We also know that the Avengers HQ is most likely a destination for our heroes, and we see Ant-Man arrive at the Avengers gate with a mini quantum tunnel in tow, in the back of his Ford van. Does this mean we might get to go on a trip to the quantum realm in the film? Number 8. How will Captain Marvel react to all this? Captain Marvel will be returning to the MCU after a lengthy hiatus. She will have been absent on Earth for presumably 20 plus years. When she returns in the post-credit scene to Captain Marvel, the first words we hear her speak are, "Where's Fury?" How will she react to there being Avengers on Earth? Will we get to see Maria or Monica again? Will Monica join the Avengers as Photon or Pulsar? Endless questions! In the Avengers Endgame trailer, we get a little hint of a scene that occurs between Captain Marvel and Thor, where we see him approving of her. But how will the rest of the team feel? After all, if Captain Marvel had been on Earth when Thanos was trying to collect the Infinity Stones, she may have been able to stop it. Will anyone resent her for not being there? And what has she been up to during her time away? We all know from the comics that Captain Marvel has had some space adventures of her own, as well as linked up with 2 space crews, the Starjammers and the Guardians. Is it possible that Captain Marvel and Rocket will actually already know one another? Number 7. Why is Tony alone on the spaceship? The first and second trailer for Endgame alludes to Iron Man being stranded on the Guardians ship. Last we saw Iron Man, he was on Titan with Nebula, and the 2 of them were alone after the rest of their team bit the dust, as it were. Which begs me to ask why Nebula doesn't seem to be on the Guardian ship with Tony. Based on Nebula's temperament, I believe she's stubbornly refused to go with him. Knowing Nebula and her quest for vengeance, it seems likely that after the snap, she would want to head right for Thanos. Gamora seemed to be the only one she was even remotely emotionally attached to, and with her assumed dead, Nebula wouldn't have much reason to return to Earth. I'm sure she would rather stubbornly take the fight to Thanos. Tony, however, has the Avengers and Pepper to check in on. He'd possibly even want to check in with Aunt May after Peter Parker's untimely end. As we saw in Infinity War, the loss of Spider-Man hit Stark hard. I'm sure he feels somewhat responsible. Number 6. how did Ant-Man get out of the quantum realm? Last we saw Ant-Man in a film, it was in the Ant-Man and the Wasp. He was left stranded in the quantum realm without any ship or means of getting out, after Janet, Hank, and Hope were reduced to dust by Thanos' snap. So how did he get out? I know I am for sure interested in finding out. As we have seen him in the Endgame trailers, I assume this will have to be explained in the movie. Number 5. Will we get any of the heroes we lost back? We lost a lot, and I mean a lot of heroes in Avengers Infinity War. I could list all the dead and masked, but that would take so long, it may as well be its own video. We all have our heroes that we mourn for the most. A couple of my tops are Loki, Black Panther, and Gamora. What I want to know is how many of them will we actually get back? Will we even get any of them back? My belief is that we won't be able to fully revert everything back to the way it was. We will probably lose some more heroes and only gain a fraction of the ones we lost back, but we may also gain something totally new. X-Men. With the Disney and Fox merger settled, Disney now owns the rights to X-Men films, and I can bet it won't be too long before we start seeing them pop up in the MCU. But how will they be introduced? Will we have found out that they were just there the whole time? Probably not. But if we have to alter reality or timelines at all to bring back our dead heroes, it is possible that these changes could lead to mutants being brought into existence. Not only may we get our heroes back, but we may get one of Hugh Jackman's famous Wolverine cameos in Endgame. I mean, a nerd can dream, can't she? Number 4. Will we go to the quantum realm? More than likely. Did you see those suits in the second Endgame trailer? They definitely bear a resemblance to Hank Pym's quantum suits, that's for sure. And it could be possible that the quantum realm provides protection from the Infinity Gauntlet. After all, it has been established in the Avengers vs. Justice League comics that the Infinity Gauntlet can only affect the realm in which it exists. Ergo, because the quantum realm is a separate realm, it may be the key to potentially undoing what has been done and to defeating Thanos. Number 3. When will it take place? Never mind quantum travel, a lot of fans are theorizing the key to fixing the world will also have to do with time travel. Although we all have our own theories for how this will come about, if time travel is involved, I'm sure we are all interested in knowing where exactly it will take us, or when exactly it will take us. How far back will we have to go to fix things? The second Endgame trailer makes it look like we'll be revisiting much of the past, including that of Captain America's. We get a lot of Peggy voiceovers and shots from his origin story. The most telling thing for me is in the trailer when Cap looks at Peggy's locket and he tells Black Widow that their plan must work because there are no other options. Steve being a man out of time, I'm hoping that he will get to return to the 1940s. Maybe he'll get to make that date after all, and save Bucky from being brainwashed. After all, Cap deserves a happy ending. Number 2. Is the Infinity Gauntlet busted? After Thanos' use of the Infinity Gauntlet to snap half of everyone into existence into dust, the gauntlet was looking pretty banged up. Once shiny and new, it was now smoking, tarnished, and busted up. Thanos then uses the gauntlet one last time in Infinity War to transport himself to a paradise of a planet where he can rest. We don't see it after that. We don't get to see if he is wearing it or not. Which begs to ask, is the Infinity Gauntlet still usable? And if it is depleted of power, what will this mean for our heroes? Will Thanos be easier to defeat? And without the Infinity Gauntlet, will our heroes even be able to revert the world to where it once was? Number 1. How will the Avengers defeat Thanos? On the other hand, if we assume that the Infinity Gauntlet is slightly charred but is still fully functional, how will the Avengers defeat Thanos? After seeing Captain Marvel and knowing she will ultimately be joining the team, the Avengers might now have the firepower. But even if they do, how will they locate the Mad Titan? Will we even get to see him taken down? Thanos has been MIA from the Endgame trailer, so it is possible that the MCU plans on solving the world's problems with brains, not brawn. Though I sincerely hope we get a healthy dose of both. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to tap both that like and that subscribe. And if you want to spark discussion amongst friends, feel free to give this video a share. I still have so many questions. If you had to sacrifice one hero from the MCU to bring back a deceased one, who would you sacrifice for who? And are you excited to see the X-Men maybe join the MCU? Let us know in the comments below. So many hard choices. Till next time, this is Top 10 Nerd and I'm Amanda McKnight, reminding you to stay nerdy, YouTube.